to school and we know that when we're done with school we get a job. Or, I mean, you go to college and then you get a job. And so I think traditional mindset says you are an employee, like we're trained to be employees. So
people like to jump in lines, right? People like to follow what other people are doing. And what we're taught in this day and age is, you go to school, you possibly go to college, and you'll get a job for the next 40 to 60 years. And that mindset is weak because you have zero leverage within having an employee mindset, right? How does an employee get leverage in their life when they're the system their whole life, right? When they don't work, the system goes with them. They have zero leverage in their life. How do you enjoy the finer things in life, like family and the most important thing, time, when you're spending most of your time trying to get that leverage, right? With an employee mindset, as we all know, if you really think about it and put things in perspective, it's not possible with being an employee, right? Because you have zero systems. So we talk about systems within business. The few different ways to make money, to make a living, is an employee, right? To work for somebody else, okay? To start your own business, which we know a lot of business owners. I grew up with a lot of business owners in my family as well. And that is, as a lot of you guys probably are as well, that's a difficult thing to do as well, because typically a business owner is the last one to get paid, right? When you have employees, you have trucks, you have inventory, you have all these things that have to be taken care of first. And then once all that is done, the money comes back around and then you get paid, right? And it's difficult because you'll have to deal with things like, additional taxes, payroll taxes, expenses, all these things that come into play with that type of business. So what we kind of like to look at now is, what are the different ways to make money? Because we're at a time in the world that there's so much opportunity and so much money to be made that we have really focused on who we pay attention to and what types of business that we associate ourselves with, okay? And the reason that we associate ourselves with network marketing, this type of business, is because that's how you can really get leverage in your life, right? Let's actually back up to I'm kind of going to go on a little bunny trail here, but being a business owner, let's back this up to being an employee. You're doing all that for yourself and typically your family, right? Okay. When you're a business owner, you're doing that for yourself and your family and the employees that you have as well. Within direct sales, within network marketing, you can have such a bigger impact. It's called combined efforts. It's called leverage, right? This industry, that it's no secret that we are part of, is not on trial. It's not on trial. It's a fact that 85% of women in the United States that make over 6 figures a year do it in direct sales, right? The industry did almost $200 billion last year, paid out $20 million a day. Those are just statistics. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about
Nancy says back it up one more time. I'm not sure if she was referring to your dance moves while we were in
back it up.
Okay, yeah. So I saw my mom hopped on. Mom, we're really not getting divorced. We're talking about divorcing mindset. Yeah. I'm sure your heart dropped a little bit with that title, but hop back on it.
So this is one thing, statistics. I like to go over actual education, actual financial literacy of facts, right? So knowing that 50% of businesses, if you want to get out of the employee mindset, a lot of people think, I want to start a business. You have to look at the things that come along with that, because you can have huge success, but it can also be very difficult and have a lot of failures along the way. Okay, so knowing that 50% of the businesses right now that are started fail within year one. Okay, it's around 80% fail by year 5, and by year 10, 96% of businesses fail. Right? So knowing that, with the average cost startup of a traditional business is around $60,000, which is actually not a lot, right? But $60,000, what are you putting your money into? What are your possibility of returns, knowing that a failure rate of business is that high? Okay, there's a reason that this industry doesn't do this on a scale of growth. It just continues to go up and up and up.
Well, right? This, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It grows year after year after year because it's a smarter way of doing business. This isn't. We're not in a brick and mortar type of business anymore. It's brick and mortar type of world. We're in a click and order type of world. Think about it. Why is it that Amazon is going to be the second $1 trillion company in the world? Apple was the first.
So right? I know that we've said it before, but I think it's really important to drive this whole point home. So Forbes' top 500 companies 30 years ago, 80% was hard assets and 20% was intangible assets. So 30 years fast forward to like where we're at now, it's totally flipped. It's 20% hard assets, brick and mortar, and 80% intangible assets. So everything's online. Everybody, I mean, if you look at